Hi, brother teacher here. I truly don't plan to be before you long, but I have to touch on this particular topic. And that is the topic of Jada Pinkett Smith having a relationship with another man while she's still with Will Smith. Infidelity? Maybe. Um, Legitimate relationship with someone else because her and Will was going through some issues in their marriage? Maybe. It's been said over time that Will Smith and Jada has had an open relationship. Is that good to have an open relationship? Now, I'm not saying they have or have not had an open relationship or an understanding. I'm just saying, in general, talking to you, if you marry someone, marriage carries with it responsibilities and obligations, not only to the infrastructure of the marriage as it relates to children and being able to take care of your business, as it were, but it has responsibility and accountability towards one another, husband and wife. I owe something to my wife, in other words, as it relates to my being loyal to her. And she owes the same to me as it relates to being loyal. And we're talking about relationships outside of the marriage should not exist with another one, another partner. Regardless of what you go through in your marriage, the hills and the valleys, the upsets, the disappointments, the disagreements, it never warrants you go outside of that marriage and seek love elsewhere. Even if it's just for a moment, even if it's just fleeting, it's still wrong. It's still immoral, unethical, a violation of your rights. So if my wife cheats on me, she has violated my trust in her. And the same is true if I do that to her. So now, what I really want to drive home is this, as it relates to Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. This guy, rap star August Alsina, is the gentleman that was supposed to have had this relationship with Jada. Jada goes on Facebook Live and lays it out there as the topic for that particular segment. And she opens up with Will Smith, her husband, there. Basically, she exposes herself and says, "This is what I did." They said that there were rumors in the news already. People were saying things that they never said and blowing it out of proportion because it leaked some sort of way, maybe. So they wanted to set the record straight, especially Jada. So this guy, August Alsina, said in another interview with Angela Yee that Will Smith gave him his blessings to be with Jada. I don't know if that's true or not, but let's get back to the subject. I just wanted to throw that in there as a footnote. But my thing is this: I don't care if you are the poorest couple in the world, the poorest working couple, the poorest middle class couple. I don't care if you are a well-to-do couple or if you're the mega rich and wealthy couple. No one in the world needs to know about your personal affairs but you. That needs to stay within the confines of your own home. So Jada Smith gets an F for failure from me. Why are you exposing something as intimate as your sexual life to the world? I know it's easy. I know you're celebrity type. You have money. People know you. You have a fan base. But they don't need to know that. And Will Smith should be as ashamed of himself as Jada should be of herself by going on air on her sit it's not a sitcom but her platform on Facebook Live, divulging their lives so openly as if it's just the normal thing to do. Will Smith must be sick. Love the man to death. He's a good actor. He's a good entertainer. But he must be sick. Something's wrong. Now, I don't want to say that they need counseling. They need God. They really do. Now, Jada, she used the term as it related to the relationship that she had with August Alsina. It escapes me now. I will probably put it in the description and or the comment section. But Will just came back at her and said relationship. She actually had a relationship with another man. Now there have been talk about him being maybe an introvert or someone who was broken, and she's attracted to guys like that. I don't care what her reason was. It's still wrong. Now, before I leave, and this is a very brief video, before I leave, I have to say this. If you get into a marriage, you marry someone, and you say to one another, well, you know what? You can sleep with who you want to, and I'll sleep with who I want to. Is that okay with you? That cool? And you both agree? You may as well remain single. Why did you get married in the first place? You have destroyed the very institution of what marriage is about. You have. You don't really have a marriage. You have something else. You just simply do. So if Jada's fooling around, Will is fooling around. That may very well be why it's so easy for him to sit across the table from her while she's bearing her news to him on some level, because he's done the same thing. So I would like to know, what do you think about an open relationship when a couple is married? Even if they're not legally married and they're together for years, still marriage. When a couple is married, should the relationship leave an opening where you can both go out and experience other people in a sexual sort of way? So, to expose your life to society, to the world, as I said, really shows a lack of consciousness. Even though you may be consciously aware of what you're doing, it shows a lack of self-respect and dignity. Now, I understand celebrity, and I also understand or comprehend that somehow the public began to get hold of, or the news that this had taken place, from whoever the people were that exposed it, be it August himself or whomever, it doesn't matter. But even though it got out and you felt compelled to go out and make or set the record straight, Jada and Will, even though you wanted to set the record straight, you don't need to go too deep. be general, tell the public. A lot of things have been said, for example, about me having a relationship with someone else. That's between my husband and I. We will resolve and or discuss our personal issues in private, and we would appreciate that you respect our wishes, and that's it. But she couldn't do that. I don't need to have a table talk, a red carpet talk, a red table talk, whatever talk. I don't have to have that talk. I don't need a forum like that to discuss anything. I can come on YouTube or whatever and tell you myself, do a public announcement. Stay out of my business, but do it in a very respectful and polite and humane way. But I don't have to share my bedroom with you on air, anywhere and ever. That's what Will and Jada should have done. And I believe that this is not going to work out in her favor, even though she had so many millions of people tune in on Facebook Live, breaking a record from what I understand. At the end of the day, it's still bad. It's still terrible. So, ladies and gentlemen, the moral of this story is this: stop telling people your business. Social media was intended for something else, but because people have had access to it, they have exposed so much of their lives to the point where really they have no lives anymore because everybody else knows. This is Brother Teacher. What do you think?